If Batman were to choose an in-ear monitor, he would probably go for this. I mean, look at this sleek black packaging. It's from KZ. I almost didn't recognize it because they are not exactly known for some sophisticated IEMs. It's called the ZAS. Apparently, it's one of their newer flagships. I was a little hesitant to try these out at first, but man, I am genuinely impressed by these. Spoiler, in my opinion, these are one of the best IEMs you can get in this price. No joke, KZ impressed me with this one. I mean, look at this black and gold aesthetic. That's Dark Knight right there. Alongside the IEMs, they have also improved their cable quality. How about that? I always used to make fun of KZ for their cables, if you remember, but hey, not anymore. Even the connector is kind of fancy. I mean, it's still plastic, but hey, it looks nice. Sound-wise, this is like a party in your ears. Like, they have tons of booming bass, lovely. Bass heads will be more than satisfied with these, but they also have a really interesting top-end implementation. You see, these have 7 balanced armature drivers along with a dynamic driver. And that gives you this super forward, extremely detailed treble, which doesn't really extend too much, but is surprisingly sharp. And by sharp, I don't mean in the typical KZ way, which pierces your ear. No, this thing's actually easy to listen. Now the lower mids could be a little bit better and the upper mids are a bit too on the shoutier side, like some tracks, depending on your music choice, can sound shouty, but overall it's really nice. And even though I'm not a bass head, I was genuinely enjoying these. I used them a lot more in the name of testing because of this interesting treble. It was so much more detailed than I expected. I never thought KZ could pull it off. I always thought they would either be too sharp or too mild. Nah, they hit the balance with this one. Really good job. Now, I don't know if it's because of these 7 balanced armature drivers. You know me, I've said this many times before. Number of drivers doesn't necessarily dictate the quality that you get from an audio device. I've proved this many times. But hey, whatever they have done clearly is working. I tested this with the new EPZ TP35 Pro DAC. Shout out to EPZ for sending this over. It's essentially the same as the TP35, which I have shown before. A lot of people were interested in that. This is the Pro version. It has this interesting two-tone finish, which they are calling Sunset. It also has some upgrades, like it has more power output both from the 3.5 and 4.4mm outputs compared to the TP35. And it also has mic pass-through this time, so that's good. Even though the ZAS is easy to drive, you don't need this, but this can be like an investment for more IEMs that you may get. I'll link this in the description. If you're interested, you can check it out. But yeah, that's essentially a quick summary of why I think the KZ ZAS is really good. Like, this reminded me of the SimGoat EW300, except these are more detailed in the top end. Yes, the build is still resin and plastic. It's not metal like the EW300, but again, sound is great. I actually would recommend these over the EW300, which is kind of crazy because they are one of my favorites. And KZ usually doesn't make the list of the IEMs that I would use, but hey, if I were to use this every day, I can. Like, I can genuinely see myself enjoying these on a daily basis. And remember, I'm coming from this big chunk of setup, which is like 10 or 15 times more expensive than this. So that's saying a lot. It also shows you that you don't have to spend crazy money to get incredibly good sound. So if you're willing to spend this money to get a seriously competent IEM, yeah, you should check out the KZ ZAS. Highly recommended.